Serious, what will you never do again? Fall asleep on the couch and wake up in my bed because my parents carried me up. Ignore red flags in a relationship and stay in a situation that lacks love. I will listen to my friends and be mindful of rose-colored glasses. Your partner should want to lift you up and want you to better yourself. They should also be striving to better themselves too. They should not feel like a strain or drain. If it doesn't feel right, it might not be right. Ask a friend and keep an open mind. And their idea of lifting you up should not be pressuring you into a mold that isn't you. I had an ex who wanted to shape me into his dream girlfriend. Go to work drunk or high. Only did it once and was paranoid and or sleepy the whole time. I had an edible cookie 10 hours before work the next day. Woke up feeling off but figured it was just a bad sleep and I was tired. Walked into work and the lights felt like they were interrogating me. I freaked out a bit. Can be fired if you show up high drunk, and quickly opened it till still believing I would be fine. After opening my till I realized my coworker had been trying to talk to me. I was so high I didn't realize she was taking, let alone talking to me. I closed my till ASAP and ran to the manager's office. It was a very awkward conversation with my boss trying to explain that I was still high even after 10 hours because of a pot cookie. At least you told the truth. But wouldn't it be better to make up an excuse, like you're feeling sick and go home? They typically don't let you go home once you show up, unless you're really bad. It's legal where I live, and my boss knew I smoked. She laughed and told me to go sleep it off. TBH, I wasn't thinking about excuses, I just needed to leave, so I wouldn't have a panic attack lol. Cocaine. Pretty sure I got addicted last year. I severely cut down on the usage throughout this year, and now I haven't used in 2 months. It's expensive and was ruining my relationships with my family. One of the biggest problems with coke is how much it gets downplayed by some people. I've literally heard people say things like it's no worse than weed. It is definitely worse than weed in so many ways. The lifestyle and people that surround it, the effect on some people, potential for it to be cut with all kinds of messed up things, felony drug charges, the cost, etc. Coke will fuck up your life real quick. Definitely worse than weed. Go to the Grand Canyon. As someone who is absolutely petrified of heights, it's one of the most terrifying places to visit. Like, people will just go sit on the edge and relax and be fine, while I'm literally frozen where I stand panicking. My palms sweat at the thought of taking an open staircase. I live on the 3rd floor of my building and have to hug the walls on my balcony. Fear of heights is fucking terrible, and I hate it. Waiting to break up with someone just because I'm too scared to do so, or not doing it in person because of being afraid to do so. Run a marathon. About 75% of the way through my training I realized that I was only doing it to be able to say I did it. Hey everybody, look how awesome I'm to have run a marathon. I couldn't even say that I was doing it to be healthier either, because it was actually causing joint and bone issues. I still finished my training and completed the marathon, but I had to take a long time off after to heal. Haven't run more than a 5-miler since. Kinda had the same here. Climbing a mountain. I climbed it already, but went with someone else who were timing themselves. Although they said they just want to bond 75% up, I realized I'm not enjoying it, bypassing the beauty to stay near the other person and not gaining anything. So I made the choice to face up to constant comments of being a quitter and turned around. I enjoyed the way down, watched the ships in the harbor and city. Kinda became aware of how trivial things, the goals people set and chase, but not achieving much. I just had time to figure out that not all goals are worth achieving, especially if it has an opportunity cost associated to it. Edit. My dad had completed several marathons and other achievements, but he kinda ended up chasing goals while missing everything along the way. Maybe walk with your son up the mountain at a slow pace and talk instead of having a record time, but complaining you don't get to bond enough with your offspring. Ride a motorcycle. I started riding when I was about 15 years old. I absolutely loved it, and each spring would look forward to the smell of a 2-cycle Suzuki engine and riding all day. It was part of my life. Fast forward to just after my 21st birthday. I'm riding a Honda 750 on the interstate on a Friday evening at about 9 p.m. Friday the 13th too, and all of a sudden I see a flash of lights in my rear view mirrors and bam, I was rear-ended by a car and sent flying end over end. I slid on the asphalt for about 150 feet, feeling the flesh on my hands and knees being scraped off, until I came to a stop. Cars and trucks were swerving around me to avoid hitting me. I jumped up as soon as I stopped and ran to the shoulder of the road. The driver was drunk and had crashed into the ditch on the side of the road. A cop car happened to be sitting a bit farther up the highway and witnessed the crash and called for an ambulance and a tow truck. I haven't been on a motorcycle since that day over 40 years ago. Holy shit, dude. Adrenaline's a hell of a drug, but not only did you get up, you ran to the side of the road. That's impressive. How long did it take to heal from that? Yeah, adrenaline is something else. I could have probably ran for an hour. I was so jacked up on that stuff. I went to the hospital where they cleaned out my road rash, mostly on the palms of my hands/wrists and my knees. They sprayed some numbing stuff on there and took a hard plastic scrub brush and went to town. I tried my best, but that nurse brought tears to my eyes. The flesh healed within about 3 weeks, but the soreness and muscle pain lasted for about 4 months. This happened in May, and I was supposed to start with the police academy in mid-June. I had to call them and tell them that I wouldn't be able to make it and to please call me for a future class, of which there was no guarantee. Fortunately, they did call, and I attended the following February, so it all worked out in the end. Work in a nursing home. Almost every nursing home I worked and heard of is understaffed, underpaid, and overwork you to death. The smell is horrible, and management makes the environment toxic. Please do not send your parents to these facilities. What other option is there? If the person needs 24-hour care and you can't afford a full-time nurse, that's what you are left with. It is usually because the person needing the care didn't have a long-term care plan set up nor enough savings. I'm currently trying to spend down my uncle's money so Medicaid picks up and I can move him to a new place. It's a nightmare to navigate, and I can't imagine how much worse it would be if he didn't have us to help him out. Where he is now is so much better than the last place, but it still isn't great. I wish I could have a private nurse for him, but we can't afford that. He can't use the bathroom on his own, so assisted living is out. FYI, in the USA, if you have Medicaid you can hire PCAs. They will care for you in your home. They are not 24/7, but it's better than a nursing home. Also, there are agencies that pay you if you take care of someone full time. It's not a lot, but it helps. They are called medical foster families. If you Google it, scroll down past the other foster posts to read about it. Another resource is your local independent living center. Easy to find online. They can assist you with options. They actually advocate for seniors to live in the community with assistance. Good luck. Work in retail. I got out of retail this year and this is the first Christmas in 10 years I'm enjoying. Drive while intoxicated. Never got into an accident, harmed anyone, or even got pulled over. But I do recall one time where I fell asleep behind the wheel, only to wake myself up as I was driving on the other side of the road. I immediately pulled over, parked the car, and slept in it till the next morning. Never drove drunk ever again, not even after a single beer. Thank you. I wish everyone else who drives intoxicated would get their heads out of their ass. I hear more about people who celebrate themselves, or how much better of a driver they are, or they only do it under certain circumstances, or for short distances. People die, and it's usually the innocent person that dies. It's not okay. There's not a lot that genuinely pisses me off, but DUIs are one of them. It's disgusting. Gossip about my boss with coworkers. Man, last week I made the offhand comment that one of the managers could suck my balls to another low-level employee. He faking told on me. I went to a midnight release of Harry Potter film. Fifth one, I think. I had a fun time, but all that waiting was not worth it. Attempt suicide. Edit. Thanks for the awards. And for clarification, I mean I don't want to kill myself, not that I hope to succeed in it, rather than attempt to do so. The goal is to stay alive and recover, even though CPTSD can be really painful. I don't want to die until I'm old, and it happens naturally. I see a lot of this as sad examples of bad choices made in the past, and while I think we all have a list of hundreds of those, this question made me think of the things I'll never sow again, that I wish I could. I'm 46 years old, divorced with kids. In no particular order of importance, I'll never again get to play in a football game, get to hang out or talk with my grandparents, go swimming with my dad, get to see a naked woman for the first time ever, get to be reckless with my life, with the implicit understanding that my parents would somehow fix my messes, get to have the picture perfect first marriage, leave it to beaver family life, get to buy my first home, get to talk to my friend who committed suicide again, get to take a nap with my newborn daughter asleep on my chest, get to wake up without 100 regrets for the 1000 things I didn't take a chance on doing. Be happy with your crappy choices, they made you who you are. Casual sex with someone I just met. Guy here. I agree. Sex without a emotional connection sucks. Slap my kid. We don't spank at home. He gets timeouts. Physical punishment is not necessary. A week ago or so it was early morning before work and getting kids ready for daycare. The 2-year-old was taking his time with his breakfast, which was fine. I had nothing to do for the moment and was so tired I drifted off a little bit while sitting on the couch. I come to as he's wiping a budger on my cheek. I didn't even think. I was exhausted and confused, but I knew what he just did. I swatted him right in the cheek. I did not slap hard. It did not leave a mark, but it was enough for him to be totally unprepared for it and give me a look of utter confusion and hurt. He cried. He didn't want to be near me. He ran to mom. I never felt as guilty over anything in my life. Never felt so ashamed. He got over it and we're fine. That's something I will never do again. Thank you very much for watching. For more content, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. I would also appreciate you commenting on this video. Have a great day.